When I say the word probiotics, what's the first food that comes to your mind? Yogurt, maybe? But what about the word prebiotics? How are they different from probiotics? After all, they're spelled almost the same. Stick around and let's talk about 5 surprising foods that contain powerful prebiotics and the benefits to your body.
How many bariatric vitamins do you take a day? Are they a pain to remember? ProCare Health offers easy and affordable solutions with once daily multivitamins. Visit ProCareNow.com for free samples. Use code SUSAN10 to save 10%.
Hi, I'm registered dietitian nutritionist Dr. Susan Mitchell. You're listening to the Bariatric Surgery Success podcast, episode number 68. Most of my career, I've worked in some type of media, particularly radio, where I did morning drive nutrition spots, over 18 years. That's really how I started podcasting. The radio station was going to start podcasting, asked me if I'd like to try it, and I said, sure. Ultimately, years later, that led me to you. I created Bariatric Surgery Success to provide you with life-changing information. It's always going to be based on science, along with simple strategies, tools to help you be successful in your transformation, but along the entire journey. So I'm happy that you've connected with me. You're in the right place, and I'm so glad you're listening. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Anne, who posted in the Facebook group. I love having this Facebook group and the podcast for support. Well, hey, Anne, thanks for taking time to tell me. That's my goal, for the Facebook group and the podcast to work together so you listen to new information and you have a place to talk about it in a private setting. I'm so glad you've joined in. Remember, if you want to join us in the Facebook group, please do. You can find answers and support day to day or just vent if you need to. On Facebook, search the groups for Bariatric Surgery Success with dietitian Dr. Susan Mitchell and then ask to join. The link is in the show notes too. Okay, back to probiotics and prebiotics. You hear these words commonly tossed about in the supplement and food world, but what do they really mean anyway? Well, probiotics are bacteria that offer a health benefit to the body. And this is a case where the word bacteria is a good thing, as probiotics may help prevent or treat certain illnesses. So it's no wonder that probiotics are often nicknamed the good bacteria. In your body, it's a balancing act between good and bad bacteria. Think of it this way: medications, diseases, even some environmental issues can alter this balance, which is where probiotics might be helpful. So probiotics are live bacteria, and they occur naturally in foods such as yogurt, sauerkraut, sourdough bread, and other fermented foods like kefir. Okay, what about prebiotics? Well, prebiotics are a type of fiber. Think of them as fiber that acts like fertilizer. They're fertilizer for that good bacteria in your body. So basically, probiotic bacteria feed on that prebiotic fiber or that prebiotic fertilizer, if you will. So prebiotics also support your immune system. They can increase how much calcium your body absorbs, reduce symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, and even help decrease your cholesterol level. Plus, you can't forget that one thing that the TV ads have been heavily promoting. You know what that is? Help with the go, or a way to help prevent constipation. So prebiotics or prebiotic fiber, same thing, is found naturally in quite a few foods, which may surprise you. And we're going to talk about these in just a minute. But they're also added to food products like cereals or breakfast bars and breads in a form called inulin. And you'll likely see that on the ingredient list. It's a very common prebiotic fiber added to food, again, food like the cereals and the breakfast bars, but also added to supplements. So don't miss it. What was it called again? And what are you going to see on the ingredient label? Inulin. It's spelled I-N-U-L-I-N, inulin. You can also find prebiotic fibers such as inulin in pill or powdered supplements. And sometimes the prebiotics are combined with the probiotics in a supplement to create, I'll call it a tag team approach or a symbiotic relationship. Because remember, the prebiotic fiber helps enhance the work of the probiotic bacteria. Now, you might have heard that prebiotic fiber can cause gas or bloating. Have you heard that? Well, it can. But this can happen from prebiotic food sources, but especially the prebiotic supplements if you take a large dose. Typically, a large prebiotic supplement dose would be considered about 15 grams, but a much lesser amount could cause issues if you've been dealing with gas and bloating following surgery. Now, this is a good time to run it by your bariatric dietitian or your healthcare provider before you add any prebiotics in supplement form, okay, in supplement form. So if you ever take a prebiotic supplement, it's better to start with a small dose, down around 1 to 2 grams, up to 5, and then assess your tolerance before you add more. So remember this, because prebiotics or prebiotic fiber, it's classified as fiber, they do count towards your daily fiber recommendation of 25 to 30 grams. Okay, the nice surprise I mentioned. You've probably been consuming prebiotic fiber every day, but you didn't know it. I love this about eating real food. Prebiotic fiber occurs naturally in many foods that you probably eat now if you're, say, 6 months to a year down the track from surgery. The 5 foods that might surprise you: apples, bananas, onions, garlic, and asparagus. You probably never associated them with prebiotics, right? Remember we said that the prebiotic fiber in these foods act kind of like fertilizer for the good bacteria or the probiotics in the digestive tract. So every time you add onions or garlic to a dish, you're adding a source of prebiotic fiber. Asparagus is a low-carb vegetable that also brings prebiotics to the table. Apples and bananas, so common, right? But oh, so good for you. So the good news about eating these whole food sources like onions, garlic, asparagus, bananas, and apples for the prebiotic fiber is that these foods also contain numerous beneficial vitamins and minerals. So really, it's a win-win all the way around. And with food, typically less of a bloating and gas issue too. Can't forget that, right? The next time you slice an apple, think of all that healthy goodness it's bringing to your body. And a few other foods that contain prebiotic fiber you might want to know about include artichokes and barley, berries, flaxseed, leeks, legumes, and even oats. So these will be beneficial to your body as well as you add back foods into your daily diet. To take good care of you, be good to you, you're worth it.
Bariatric Surgery Success with dietitian Dr. Susan Mitchell is produced and owned by Practicalories, LLC, all rights reserved. Remember, the content provided on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't create a patient-provider relationship. It's intended to provide reference material and is not designed to provide medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider regarding any medical issues you have relating to symptoms, conditions, diseases, diagnosis, treatments, and side effects. Podcast guests express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions which do not necessarily reflect or agree with the host, Dr. Susan Mitchell or Practicalories, LLC.